Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So in case if you can't hear the sound, bell sound, just relax yourself and focus to the silence. Do nothing extra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we are trying to share basic informations related to meditation. And we are trying to give you some guidelines to develop your own practice. So when it comes to meditation, basically, we are focusing to two major important meditation techniques. So first we have to understand what is the very meaning of meditation, because this word is very popular now and the people have their different opinions regarding this. So according to the Buddha's teaching, so only practice point of view, we have to use this as a Buddhist meditation. So the meditation is not the word that really explain related to the whatever this practice related to the Buddha's teaching, but that is the word basically used in English language. Because of that, we have to take it. So originally in Buddha's teaching, this practice named as bhavana. So the bhavana means cultivation of the mind or the development of the mind. So when it comes to cultivation of the mind, there are two paths, two ways. So one is tranquility meditation. So the tranquility meditation, it's called the samatha bhavana. Samatha means tranquilizing, calming down, developing one-pointedness, and having undisturbed mind, getting rid of that all the unnecessary thoughts and keep your attention towards that whatever the primary mental object. So that is, there are many methods for that. Basically in Buddhist meditation there are 40 meditation techniques or objects that you can develop this tranquility mind. So the basically here we take our own inhalation exhalations to concentrate. So we observe the inhalation exhalation in front of our nose and upper lip area. And at the same time, you have to remember basically, you are not breathing in or breathing out. You are not interfering. You are not involving. You are not manipulating. You are not controlling. You are not maintaining. You are not trying to do the way you want your inhalation, exhalation. Then what you do? So you allow inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Another way, let the breathing to do it for you, because it is a bodily action. It is not a mental action. So you cannot inhale or exhale, even though on the general way we do it, you cannot do it. If you can do, you're never going to die. Because in a certain level, when we die in a natural death, what happened basically, our inhalation, exhalation going to stop. So if you can inhale, exhale, so then you can do it. So this is a bodily action. So then it happened to us. So let it happen, and when it happens, recognize it. So that will help you to tranquilize the mind, calm down the mind. So there are people naturally, basically, they are capable to do it. They have a very, very clear mind, and very easily they can tranquilize their mind. But sometimes everybody cannot do it. So if in case if you can't do it, then you have to practice for that. So that is once the tranquilize your mind, once you settle down with your mind, what happens? Then you are capable to see things as it is. What are those? So whatever the perception we perceive through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you are capable to see things as it is. And at the same time, in the deeper level, so that is in the basically in the conventional level, in the basically deeper level, you are capable to recognize form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition as it is. So why we have to develop our mind to see things as it is? In day-to-day life, what we see. This is what happened. Even though we see things, what happens, deeply there is a current. We have preconditioned mind, habitual patterns. Most of time we see the things the way we want. We have our own point of view regarding, we have our own point of reference regarding our perception. And 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition. But now once the mind calm down, once the mind free from repetition, once the mind become free from habitual patterns, once the mind become free from self-centered mind, once the mind become free from preconditioned mind, so you are capable to harness with the perception. And then you are capable to see the world as it is. So that is the tranquility level of meditation. So that is what take us, that is what we take us through the samatha bhavana, or the tranquility meditation. But at the same time, there is another one, other technique. It's called the Vipassana meditation. So when it comes to Vipassana meditation, what is Vipassana meditation? Because most of time now in the world, people misunderstand and sometimes people don't know about it. So the Vipassana means we thoroughly, deeply, vigorously, without becoming biased to any habitual patterns or the teachings or the techniques or the methods, Passana, thoroughly, deeply, closely observe. So that is the Vipassana meditation. And so it also called the bhavana, the cultivate. So you develop your mind, you cultivate your mind to observe. So first level, you have to have the ability to see things as it is. Otherwise, what you going to observe? So that's why you need the tranquility state, balanced mind, undisturbed mind. So from there, you go to the next level. Because most of the time people think this Vipassana meditation means this stay silence. From where that misunderstanding came, from this 10-day Goenka meditation retreat center that they're the Vipassana center. So they are the very popular in the world. So most of people know this word Vipassana through that. And when they go there, one of the thing, you should not talk to each other. You have to stay silent. And so most of people think this, oh, staying in silence is Vipassana. No, it's just a part of the practice. So the Vipassana means thoroughly, deeply, vigorously, closely, without becoming biased to your own or any teachings or the methods, or without following any techniques, you completely with the free mind observe. So what you observe? So then when it comes to that observation, so one is there are four foundations to develop the Vipassana meditation. So it is not about the outside world. This is very important. It's about your head to toes, your body. You focusing to you and observe. One is contemplating the body. So you start to observe the body, bodily postures, the movements of the body, so on like that. Without interfering to it or without becoming a part of it. Just imagine sitting, you observe your posture itself, becoming without becoming part of it. So then what happened? Then you're going to see the very natural behavior of the body. So that is not what you think. Now you start to see some. So contemplating the body, and it has many, many other parts to practice, go into deeper level. But just for this moment, remember when it comes to Vipassana meditation, so you follow this, you practice this four foundation. That is Vipassana. Contemplating the body. Another thing is the contemplating the feelings. So when it comes to the body, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feelings, you closely observe without becoming part of it. So then you can see how it arises, exists, and this change. So observing, contemplating the body, contemplating the feelings. And without go with the feelings, now you separate from it, you observe without becoming part of the feelings. Another one is the contemplating the mind, the third one. So the thoughts arise itself. And without becoming a part of it, without go with your thoughts, you just observe it. And then you see how this thought arise and go away. And then little by little help for you to go into deeper. That's the third one. So the fourth one is contemplating the phenomena. So phenomena here means the dharmata, the nature. So as example, as a concept, we know impermanence, selflessness. So as a concept, as an idea, you know the change. But now you observe, you recognize that what is the change. Because it was just an idea, but now it become an experience. Selflessness. And cause and effect. When the inhalation arises, when the inhalations come, the body function. When the contacts happen, the feelings arise. So you see these connections. Selflessness. Underneath this all, this any feelings doesn't have itself a self. Any physical part itself doesn't have a self. Any thought itself doesn't have a self. So this everything arises according to cause and effect. So now you observe and recognize. So Dhamma anupassana, Kaya anupassana, Vedana anupassana, Chitta anupassana, Dhamma anupassana. Those are the four foundations. Contemplating on the body, contemplating on the feelings, contemplating on the mind, and contemplating on the phenomena. Observing that, be with it, is vipassana. And when you observe it, no any techniques, no any bias, no any preconditioned mind, no any self-centered views, no any self-reference views, no any kind of cultural bonds. You completely have very clear, pure awareness. So with that you observe it. Each and every moment. With the three method, here, now, this. This is the application. Remember this. Here, now, this. Contemplating the body, contemplating the feelings, contemplating the mind, contemplating the phenomena. Here, now, this. So this means your body. And when it comes to that, the moment by moment, that you are capable to recognize, experience, there is no separation with the subject and object in the deeper level. There is no separation with the experience and experiencer. Change itself means you. It's not separate something. Impermanence is not something, it's you. Unsatisfactory nature is not something, it is you. So once you come to that, your mind becomes free from this idea of self, oh, I am. So that is how this meditation works. So tranquility means, so, but the first thing is you have to tranquilize the mind. Otherwise, with this busy mind, with these ideas, thoughts, with our preconditioned mind, with our habitual patterns, repetitions, we cannot go into observe that. So that's why in the very first level, try to develop yourself to calm down, relax, and settle down and uplift your undisturbed mind. So when you come to this undisturbed mind, another way you are settling down these 5 hindrance. What are the 5 hindrance? Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha Kukucha, Vichikicha. Those are the Pali terms. Kamachanda means sensual desires, craving for pleasure, sensory experience. Go with this sensory experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So those are not bad. You have to understand that is the nature. So you are, it's kind of like you are in a system. That is what you have to understand. You are in the system of these 5 hindrance. You are in the prison of these 5 hindrance. You are in the pattern of these 5 hindrance. So you are in the current of these 5 hindrance. This is what takes us. And this is the current that take us away from this undisturbed mind or tranquility state. This is what take us away from the wisdom, the true nature or the reality or the dharma. So we are that current itself, we are in the current. Just imagine we are in the current, then you no need to do it, that you go with the current. You are in the flow. We are the whole world in the flow of this 5 hindrance. So that is nothing wrong with it. It's the world. It's not bad. But the thing is, it's not going to show us the true nature of the world. So, in case if you look for the truth, true nature, then you have to understand you cannot go with that current, you have to find another current. So, in case kind of like if you know these 5 hindrance in the world, that if there is a 5 hindrance, it is in the world, it's always going to experience unsatisfactory nature, suffering, dukkha. So then if you want to get out of it, and if you think this is how far I should go like this, is there any way that you want to get the ultimate happiness? In case if you recognize you don't want this current, you don't want to go with this, then there is a way that you can find another current. Only thing is, you have to develop your consciousness, your awareness. Remember, whenever that, whatever the suffering, difficulty, that you name it, or the anything that happens to you, it because of nothing wrong with this anything. The reason is lack of awareness. Why you cannot attain to liberation, or the why you cannot gain the wisdom, or why you cannot find the freedom, because of lack of awareness. Once you have the right awareness, it's going to be there, because it is already there. Only thing is, we can't see it. We see something else. That is what this 5 hindrance does. So first one is kamachanda, sensual desires. And the second one is the ill will, vyapad, or feeling of aversion, anger, hatred, go behind the revenge. So third one, sloth and thofa, tina midda, lethargic, lazy, drowsy, lack of mental alertness. So look at how many pharmaceutical products, or many products nowadays, to develop this lack of alertness, drowsiness. People like to have that. See that? Because we are in that current. And the fourth one is restlessness and the worry. Uddacha kukucha. Agitation of the mind. So you feel agitated, you feel uncomfortable about your own mind. It's kind of like you cannot settle down with it. And the worry, remorse about your past, you feel kind of like a disappointment, unhappiness. Those are mental qualities. And the fifth one, doubt, vichikicha, uncertainty of lack of confidence regarding the teachings, or you don't have the ability to trust or follow the path. So then you're not going to do anything. So those are the 5 hindrances. So you cannot tranquilize the mind because of these 5 hindrances. When these 5 hindrances become higher, uplift, stronger, you cannot settle down. You cannot have a tranquility mind before you go to the vipassana level. So because of these 5 hindrances, what happened? You cannot see things as it is. You always see the things the way you want, or you start to see the things according to your point of view, or you're going to maintain, or you're going to deal with the world according to your point of reference. Your point of reference. You are the one who make it. You are the one who deal with it. And that's why it says, the world is inside us. And when it comes to that, what happened? The inner experience, form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, and go according to the pattern, habitual pattern. Why? Because we are the one who maintaining and directing and editing, creating, developing. So that is what we do. And then we experience that what we want. So what we want again create by the mind, habitual patterns or the current. So this is a repetition. This is not somebody doing it. The system itself develop it. This is one thing is that according to this chat GPT, this artificial intelligence. So the most of people think it's kind of like a person. It's a machinery work. It works according to the cause and effect. There is no self or the Atma or the somebody take conscious decisions and do it. So the physical system the same, but we have only thing is that we have our consciousness. That's a different part. But basically to understand this cause and effect, that even that we have the consciousness, that consciousness also not permanent. That also, even though we have a self, that self is not permanent self. That self change according to cause and effect, moment by moment, moment by moment. So when it comes to this five hindrance, tranquility meditation means calming down, settling down, and allowing your mind to stay without moving and develop the ability to stay undisturbed. So then the mind not going to go with the sensual desires, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness or worry or no doubt. So once the mind settle down without these five hindrance, then your mind itself going to become clear, crystal clear, vivid. And then you are capable to experience things as it is. So this is the basic background. This is how that the practice going to take you to experience. But most of time that when we practice, sometimes it is very difficult for us to calm down our mind, relax our mind. And our mind is with so much agitation, worry. So today I'm focusing to that, because our practice, if our practice become like, just imagine somebody trying to row a boat across the river without untying it from the dock. What will happen? That person not going to go anywhere and keep trying, it's kind of like. So when it come to our practice, sometimes it look like that. We do things, we go to many meditation places, we do many meditation techniques, we practice many times, but nothing happens inside us. So our awareness is not there, clarity not developing. Why is this? There are, remember, 5 reasons. One is sensual desires, ill will, or sloth and torpor, or laziness or drowsiness, lack of mental alert, or restlessness or worry, or doubt. So the basically here, to get into a clear awareness, there is a method. So that is what we are going to talk about today. It's about the sealer. So here, when it comes to the 5 hindrance, the 4th one, restlessness and worry. So in here, another way it explained as the remorse. So the remorse is the word called guilt, regret, compunction, self-reproach. This all explain the remorse, guilt, regret, compulsion, self-reproach. So the guilt here, remorse mean here, not just you have a just guilt regarding a moment. So the guilt here, certain guilt that we have, it's going to go with us through our whole life. Some kind of actions that we have done, it's always there with us. That mistake or that disappointment, it's always there. Of course, you do a lot of good things in day-to-day life. But that remorse, somewhere whatever happened in the past, also there. That mistake or disappointment, also there. So, and what happens is, you just imagine you practice for 1 hour every day. And then once a while when situations happens, it trigger that the mistake you have done 10 years ago. Just as example. As an example, okay? So just imagine you took the wrong decision 10 years back. Get married with the wrong person. And you didn't know at that time, of course, you thought that's the right person and you married that person. Now you are suffering. You have many problems now. So you practice meditation, you do all other spiritual activities every day. But just imagine at the same time, every day at home, or when you go out, or maybe once a week or once a month, special occasions come, the disappointment arises within the partner or the husband wife. That disappointment, unhappiness trigger every day. Oh, I made that mistake. I made that mistake. That is why it happened to me like this. See, even though you have done a lot of good things, that mistake, that the remorse also go behind you, even though that it is not a kind of like the harmful action that you done to somebody, you never did it, but it is trigger the worry. That's the key point you have to understand. Then just imagine, in our past, how many actions we have done, and still today it trigger the worry, disappointment, unhappiness, sadness to us. So then how it going to become a bad action? This is what happens. Listen this very carefully. So you never done 10 years back, you never done any action with the wrong intention, bad intention. But now you know it is a mistake. So when the today situation, today argument, today this environment trigger that memory and the worry arise. After worry, what happens? Once the worry happens, you get mad, angry, disappointment, unbalanced. That worry, that anger trigger unwholesome thoughts. Maybe you think to kill. Maybe you think everything. How many times we kill people in our mind? When we get mad, angry, disappointed. And maybe we curse other people in our mind. Even just imagine in the world, kind of like when the enemies die, how people celebrate. Oh, it's kind of victory. So today the victory means most of time what? Harming to others. Even the nations, even the religions, even the people celebrate the freedom, their independence. Sometimes recalling, reminding, rethinking, rebuilding their memory on the top of how they used to harm to others. See? That become hindrance to your own mind. So that is what happened. When the worry is there, it start to trigger unwholesome actions. So when it comes to that, remember that the unwholesome actions, especially covered, the antidote for this is called the sealer. The sealer is another way, is a kind of like mentioned as the virtue and moral culture, moral discipline, moral practice, ethical practice. This is all called the sealer. So the remorse is become stronger when you don't have the sealer. Remorse means the guilt. Guilt means, remember, it is not just the simple thing that you done, mistake you have done. No, major mistakes we have done in our past. But now what happens? It triggers the worry, disappointment, anger. Because of that, today you are having this, you are breaking this moral conduct. You are breaking this ethical conduct. You are breaking virtues. So then the sealer, then you have to practice today. So then whatever happened in your past, so the remorse, when you practice the sealer or moral conduct or rituals or virtue, moral principles, right now, right here, within this body, what happens? It cannot develop the unwholesome actions related to your past. Remember, the unwholesome actions happen right now based with our past memory. So because of that, what happens, when the unwholesome actions there, it develop the remorse. So you are in that very moment, you are experience the very agitation of the mind, unhappy mind, sad mind, worry mind, remorse. So once the remorse there, what happens? It trigger the unhappy mind. Once the unhappy minds there, no concentration. So once the remorse there, you cannot concentrate, and then they forget about the happiness. And when there is no concentration, when there is no calm, relaxed, comfortable, happy mind, no development of the wisdom. There is no knowledge arise from the wisdom. So that's why in the very first level, remember, whatever happened in the past, it already gone. Don't worry about it. But you have a very golden opportunity today to practice sila within your body and mind and word. So that is what called the right speech. So then whatever happened related to your past, so when it comes to right speech, abstaining from lying, diversity speech, has speech, idle chatter. So then related to whatever happened in the past, don't do this in the present moment. Don't tell any lies. Maybe how we tell lies to justify ourselves. We are the right person. You know, when we talk about the past, 70% of our information is not the exactly what happens. Another thing is diversive speech. So what does that mean? Whoever angry with us, we always, when we talk to another person, we always try to separate that person and label that person as a wrong person. I am the right person. So then you have to be in my side. So when it comes to the society, culture, look at the world today, even when it comes to politics, what they do, they are basically what they do, basically, publicly, what they do, they are lying. Everybody know that. Politics mean lying. Another thing is diversive speech. They always separate the community, people. And when it comes to even the spiritual practice also can happen like that. There are a lot of gurus, teachers, even the monks, and try to divide people, telling unnecessary things, harsh speech, idle chatter, useless, no weight on it, no truth inside that, no value on that words. Just keep talking, talking, talking. So like that. So then related to past that what experience, don't do this today. So then you can become mindful related to your speech and then be truthful and talk harmoniously, gently, and talk purposefully. So this is the right now, right here, with this body, you have to take that action. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Right now, you have to take this action, moment by moment, step by step. That is, you develop the current. You start to shift into the different current. And the right action. So when it comes to right actions, it's basically about abstaining from harming to living beings, stealing, sexual misconducting. So related to past, just imagine everywhere, all over the world, more than any other time, people kill. And every country, spend so much money for arms and ammunition, weapons to fight each other. And everywhere, it's more than any other time, it's becoming more strong, that current. That all killing based with the past memory. No one can kill anybody in the present moment without any reason related to past. Related to whatever past, in the present moment we are taking this action. Even we cannot harm to any animal like that related, if we are not related to our past memory. So that's why when you become mindful itself, you detach from that current. And stealing, sometimes as a habitual pattern, it can go. And sexual misconducting, interfering to others without any permission to gain the sensual pleasures that look at everywhere. The situations happen, people don't respect others. And it's even kind of like they don't care about other privacy now anymore. So like, in the 20 years ago, before these cell phones come, and when you want to take a picture with others, you ask them, please come. You request, because some people don't like it. They feel uncomfortable. But now you take selfie you take the selfie with others without any permission sometimes. So from that point to abuse other people physically, sexually, mentally, emotionally, it's become a part of the world. Some countries, still, there are some countries, and if the person sexually harass a woman, the police don't care. They think as a man you have the right to do that. And sexual bribery, the most of the countries. So without other person permission, without other person acceptance, and interfering to that people and gaining sensual pleasures is breaking moral discipline. So then it is about you. And then you have to do it in the present moment. So then develop so whatever happened in the past, just forget it. Let it be there. But in the present moment, you take whatever happened, you take a conscious decision, encourage positivity yourself, have the compassion, and developing that actions related to harmony and well-being with the respect to all living beings. It's a present moment of action. So that's why it's when the worry not there, you cannot go into these unwholesome actions. Worry, disappointment, unhappiness, anger, remorse. So the remorse is that key point. It's a kind of like a root, long lasting guilt or the memory related to develop unhappiness. So then the action you have to take in the moment. This is the action you have to take. Develop the positivity, compassion, rather than thinking about bad about others, hurting others, or the kind of like thinking about get the revenge. So think about all the goodness. Always think whatever happened, maybe bad people around us, like demons in human forms. It look like angel appear, the demons. So then wish them, may all living beings be well and happy. Practice compassion. Generate that good positive energy in you. So then that current cannot take you. Because remember, it is not the person. There is a current inside that person. When you get angry, what happened? That current kind of like gravity start to pull you towards you. So that's why it's kind of like they can push the buttons and then you start to move. They know how to put the buttons and make you angry, and then you do unwholesome actions. So then what happened? Cause and effect, causality. And then action, reaction, result start to build, and then you will never get out of this net, this prison, this current. So then always remember, when somebody put the buttons, you come to the present moment right now, right here within you, within this body. You don't go to unwholesome actions. You always think, may that person be well and happy. Think right away. It's going to become a great protection to you. Remember that, because the mind to connect, even when it comes to quantum entanglement, to connect with other, it need to carry the same energy. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Remember, you are suffering, you are there, you are in a situation. If you are go with some kind of situation, remember there is a current you carry within them. That's the kind of like invitation, bringing this. So sometimes like you put a GPS to someone else bag, or then wherever that person go, you can detect. So kind of like that. we always have these 5 hindrance inside us, and because of that, we get anchored to all the 5 hindrance around us. But in the present moment, if you have the virtue or the sila or the moral integrity, moral discipline, these 5 hindrance cannot track you. You break that code, and then it cannot come behind you. And the third one is right livelihood. So right livelihood means that you stay away from harming to others. In many ways you can harm. And you are not interfering with selling weapons, intoxicants, or kind of like a killing and selling meat, so kind of like that things. You stay away from that. So you start to work with the ethical behavior, ethical conduct, and you start to work, you earn being harnessed with the society to gain the benefit to the society rather than giving the disturb to the society. So that is your right livelihood. So then remember, right speech, right action, right livelihood. So if you follow this right way, rather than go into wrong way, what happens? You start to practice sila. So once the sila you have, when you sit for meditation, you have some kind of confidence. So you are capable to establish yourself. You are capable to have the unmovable mind yourself and with the self-confidence. And it becomes stronger to you. So that is, in a certain way, you kind of like developing this undisturbed mind and undisturbed body. So remember, sila or the moral practice is the foundation for concentration. So this remorse is the hindrance. But through the moral practice, so the remorse related to past, that is where the trigger, the worry, the disappointment. It happened in the past, but moral discipline is in the present moment. That's why always you have the opportunity. This is it's an application that you have to do with your bodily, verbally, the physically actions, mentally actions. You cannot say, no, I missed that. No, each and every, right now, right here, within this, each and every moment, every day, you can practice this. See? So that's why I said, we are very, very close to liberation. Once the right awareness is there, your freedom is there. You are as a kind of like a very close to heaven or hell. So once you get into the right awareness, you find the right path. So then it is right now. So what happened then? when you have the Sila, your concentration going to become clear. So then in case, remember, if your concentration is not good, that is the reason. You don't practice Sila and remorse is there. That means you are depending on the past memory. Something happened in the past, the worry you carry with this yourself. So then you always feel sorry. The worry you carry with you always, that's why every day you feel sorry about you. So then what you need to do, apply, bring the application, the Sila. Start to practice. Don't worry about the past. Right now, right here, within your bodily, verbally, mentally, actions. Start to do the good, positive, profitable way. With the more loving kindness, generosity, compassion. So practice it. So then what happens? Then you have the good Sila foundation and it develop your concentration. And when you sit for meditation, your concentration going to become more clear. Awareness going to become more sharp. And then as a result of that, what happened deeply? The mind start to settle down. No five hindrance going to disturb you. And as a result of that, deeply contentment, satisfaction, the happiness arise. So with that happiness, joy, that joy is not depending on this outside. That joy is different. So the joy arises. So out of that joy, what happens? Then you enter into the wisdom path. There's a wisdom arise in you. That wisdom is not related to this conventional knowledge. So that wisdom take you to liberation. That liberation means you become free from five hindrance, you become free from this all the bias, you become free from the memory, you become free from the habitual patterns, you become free from the current of this sansara. That is where you experience the nirvana. No anymore repetition or no anymore becoming happens. Each and every moment while you're living, you experience the newness. So listen this again and again. I know it has many details, a little bit longer, but it has all the key informations that for you to build up the right step for your practice. So then whenever you have time, start to listen to this and get all the necessary informations to yourself and have a very clear path in your mind and start to develop it, practice it, put it to practice, put it to practice. So if you go, when you start to have questions, any kind of difficulty, go back to the video and keep listening and then put it to practice, put it to practice. And so that way, back and forth, when you move this, and you will see, within a certain level, your mind come to very clear point that you start to understand how this work inside you. And once you have that, you have the key. So with that, so let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say, So Patveva, oh, may I be. well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So, in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, recognize it. So don't try to maintain or don't try to interfere with the natural process of inhalation, exhalation. Just recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, to spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata cha ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam paribunjisami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.